Hello, ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys. You are now entering Season 2 of the Swan Hockey Podcast. Swan Hockey is flying around the junior hockey world one episode at a time. You'll experience things dreams are made of, as well as things of terrible nightmares. Strap in, hold on, and enjoy the ride. And now, Swan Hockey.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Swan Hockey. We are in Season 2. I am Eric Swanick. I am joined here today by EA Serps, Andrew Serpico, who is currently the Assistant Director of U.S. Scouting for Neutral Zone. EA Serps, what's going on?
Hey, how are ya?
Before we even get into this, we have important matters to tend to. How was the Jonas Brothers concert?
Oh my goodness, how was the Jonas Brothers concert? First of all, buckle up. Let me tell you,
I'm buckled.
as an honorary Jonas cousin, that was absolutely electrifying. Those guys can put on a ridiculous show. And pretty good looking cats, so you gotta give them that. But before we get to then, I walk in and the All American Rejects are playing.
Okay.
And I haven't listened to them in forever, and they sound just like they do on the radio, which is electric. I walk in and Tyler Ritter is the lead vocalist and guitarist. The guy's just laying on the stage barefoot, singing a song, having a jolly old time.
Love it.
It's incredible. Yeah, electric. Anyway, all right, so back to the Jonas Brothers. So I as an honorary Jonas cousin, I know when to clap, I know when to sing, know when to stand up, I know all the things. The pipes were absolutely humming. I was fired some lyrics. Now, I tried to explain to the wife, I'm like, I don't think you realize that trio, that's a really good hockey line. She looked at me like I had 10 heads. And I said, well, let me explain this to you. Let me explain it to you. You got three different human characteristics up there. On the right side, you got Nick Jonas, right? He's the youngest. He's a star. He's a Swiss Army knife. He's a highly skilled person who could do literally everything, right? He could play defense. He could be on the ice last second if you need him to. If you need a goal, he's going to perform. He's serious. He's all about his business. On the left side, you got Kevin Jonas, the big dog, right? This guy sticks to his strengths. He doesn't sing very much. He's on his guitar. He's only ever on the left side of the stage, right? So he's a structured winger. He's not going to cause any issues. He's staying on his side. He's supportive, two-way forward. He's not going to light the lamp or anything, but he's a real positive. He's going to go to the dirty areas. You need that grimy guy. Then in the middle, you got Joe Jonas. This guy is a superstar, right? You don't know where he's going to be on the ice. Couldn't tell you. But when he gets the puck, magic's going to happen, right? His two wingers give him space. This guy's all over the stage. He's fraternizing with the fans. He's reading signs. He's winking at people. Doesn't skip a beat. It's absolutely incredible watching this guy perform on stage. He's your superstar utility center. I feel like those three together, obviously they make a pretty good band, make an unbelievable hockey line. They gel very well. And it was incredible. And my vocal cords hurt after the concert because I was going nuts. And we were even singing in the car on the way back. So a lot of Jonas Brothers action. I highly suggest going to see them.
Love it.
That probably makes me sound horrible, but you know what? Had an absolute spectacular time. And I would go see him again. Also, Sunrise, buddy, you come out of a hockey rink, and I know it's only October, but it's probably snowing in Edmonton. It's 80 degrees. I'm wearing flip-flops. Oh, my God. It's perfect.
Love it. And that's not bad for somebody that didn't know much of anything about the Jonas Brothers not long ago. But I guess that's what happens when a hockey head goes to anything, really. That's like when my neighbors wanted to play fantasy football and we had to dummy them. Got all the spreadsheets for the draft. Or
yeah.
Guess that's what happens.
Listen, you put me in a situation. I'm going to put on a show. I'm going to let it fly, and I'm going to win. I know you can't technically win at a concert, but I'm going to find a way to win. You better believe I was the best one in my row, singing all the songs. I was on beat with the claps, absolutely humming.
Well, I love it. Happy for you. Happy for your row. Happy for your row. I mean,
they got a show.
Yeah, they didn't know what they were getting that night. But
no, I haven't question for you before we move forward while we're on the topic. How are your Lost dreams going?
Oh, they've kind of stopped because I haven't been watching it, but they were coming in hard a couple weeks ago. I told Swainer it was actually like kind of fun there for a little bit because I do hockey all day and then at night get lost. As soon as I go to bed, I'd have these nightmares that I'm lost on the island, and it was but they're, like I said, they were kind of fun. Like they were nightmares, but it was like kind of fun. But I forget what season I'm on. I gotta start watching it again. And it was it was very, very weird experience.
I can imagine. What happens exactly? Can you give us a quick example of one of them?
It's weird. I can't describe it. Just a lot of fighting for your life, but at the same time having full confidence and being in full control.
And being in Hawaii?
No, one of them I was in New Jersey. That part wasn't.
That's weird.
I don't know. Sometimes I'd like bouncing back and forth between the island and New Jersey.
Oh,
but
interesting.
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah. All right. Well, now that that's all out of the way.
Sorry.
All right. So here's what we got. We had all that data that Serps put together. What was about a week or two ago now about where every American in the NHL, where they came from in terms of youth hockey before they went to junior, right? Like what kind of youth hockey experience did they pursue? What kind of youth hockey life did they live? And we ripped through all that. And that was a great episode. If you guys whoever didn't check that one out, go check it out because the results were really surprising. And, it just showed that, the best guys in the world, like you're just, I believe there's a lot of value in living as normal of a life as possible while doing this pursuit and being well balanced. And the results show that, pretty much all but 8 or 9 Americans in the NHL, kind of stayed within their own state. They weren't, chasing teams all over the country and everything, for youth hockey. So that's where we started. Serps decided to take this even further, and we're going to dissect the NHL a little bit more here. So, Serps, tell us what you got.
So I kept the theme with all the American players. So I took every American that was on an NHL opening night roster. And what we did was we looked at where they played before they went to college or the NHL. So it's basically junior, U18, or high school. And I took, it was 216 Americans, kind of divvied it up or put where they played, and put a percentage on it just to see what we were looking at. And it was definitely interesting to say the least.
Yeah, I'm looking at it here. Yeah, I got it pulled up here. Yeah, there's definitely a couple surprises. Where do you want to start?
Well, I'd like to start off with my biggest surprise that I texted you immediately because I was almost laughing. That the defunct EJHL has more players in the NHL now than the NA, the AJ, the MJ, the NCDC, and Canadian Junior, Tier 2, or sorry, not Major Junior. And I found that absolutely hysterical that a league that hasn't existed. I don't even know when the EJ stopped existing.
Yeah, and that's crazy. Like, so the EJHL, the Old Eastern Junior Hockey League, that evolved into what we know today as the NCDC. But it was like the EJ was sick. Like it was the NCDC, it's just not there. Especially what's going on today in it. Like, the old EJ was really something. It was a pretty cool league, and them being represented in the NHL is no surprise at all. But them having more than the North American Hockey League, that's a surprise.
Yeah, I mean, it is only one more. The EJHL only has three. The NA has 2, but that that one big difference.
Well, and there's a lot more NA teams too, right? Like,
yeah, absolutely, definitely interesting.
and then sorry, just to reiterate, this is solely Americans, correct?
Oh, strictly Americans.
Okay.
I did not dive into Indians whatsoever. Strictly the Americans. So of that, another thing I found interesting was I don't know if I just had it in my head. I just always assumed that more Americans went major junior than I initially thought. Now, there may be more major junior American players that just didn't make it to the NHL of that, but the fact that of the 216 that were on the rosters, only 35 played major junior before going to the NHL. I found that surprising because I thought that number would be much, much higher.
Yeah, that is surprising.
I'm sure the number of Americans that have gone CHL is obviously much lower than, USHL or anything like that. So the percentage of that is probably much higher than what we're looking at.
Because everybody all this time was told major junior bad. Well, boy,
exactly.
Boy, does everybody feel silly now.
Yeah, and listen, this is going to change probably dramatically over the next couple of years. So it was just interesting to do this now. I'm sure the numbers of Americans going up major juniors already, I'm sure doubling at least at this. And it's just you're going to get to the top level at some point. So that number of 35 players is definitely going to rise. But yeah, I for some reason just thought that number was going to be much higher when I was going through this process. But that's unfortunately not the case, and people are taking different roads.
Yeah, and what's really so the leader in all this is the NTDP, which not really a surprise there.
Nope.
I see they account for 35.2% of Americans playing in the NHL right now, or at least on opening night rosters, right? Yeah,
there's injuries and obviously call-ups and things at this point. I can't keep up with it every single day. But I mean, essentially, if you're not playing NTDP or in the USHL, I mean that amounts for almost 70% of all the Americans that are in the NHL. This is NTDP and USHL right out of the gates.
Yeah, which is and then I guess let's just give everybody the numbers. Like, so you have, or you want to rip through them?
Yeah, sir. So the NTDP had 76 players at 35%. The USHL was at 67 players, just about 31%. The entire CHL was next with 35 players. Prep school was at 15 players for just about 7%. So Minnesota high school, I thought that number would also be higher. That was just 7 players that have played Minnesota high school before they went to the NHL. Now, this is also before college too. So, some of these guys have, made the jump from this league to college before they made it. But we're at 7 players from Minnesota high school, 3 for the BC and the EJ, 2 players from Shattuck U18, the NA, and NCDC, and then we got 1 player each from the AJ, the Manitoba League, European Junior, and the OJHL.
Yeah, that's like we said, some surprises here. And can you just clarify? Can you reiterate what you just said? You said that in terms of the college.
So this is where all these American NHL players played before college and the NHL.
Okay.
So this is their last junior or high school team they played for prior to their step before the NHL. They didn't go right from here to the NHL. 2 players did. They're unicorns, Jack Hughes and Austin Matthews, but they're unicornish people. So the one European player is Austin Matthews.
Okay. And one of the big takeaways from this that I think everybody should look at is let's be real. Most players' dream is to play in the NHL, right? That's the ultimate goal. That's the ultimate dream. And these numbers show that really the 2 biggest avenues, for the players today, as you said before, is the NTDP and the USHL. And I hope that a lot of people take away from this that stop focusing on some of these other tier 2 junior A leagues and spending, people are spending, they're obsessing and spending so much time and so much energy and money trying to get to certain tier 2 junior A leagues because they think that that's like the ticket or something. this shows it's not the ticket. And what's interesting is if you set your sights on, like the North American Hockey League, right, which so many people do, right? If you set your sights on that league, they're spending all the, like, the league is kind of within reach, right? And people feel like it's within reach because they're getting contacted by all these teams and invited to all this stuff. So they kind of feel it, right? Like, even though a lot of the interest might not be legitimate, they're interacting with it, and it's easy to get sidetracked. And now they start veering off on that road with, okay, what do I got to do to get to the NA? What do I got to do to get to the NA? What do I got to do to get to the NA? And they start trying to figure out how they can catch lightning in a bottle and make that happen. Like, where's that path? Where's that quick fix? Where's that poof? I'm there, right? Which doesn't exist, right? It's all about the forward progression and developing, and small increments along the way. You'll eventually get there, right? Like, there is no just one quick fix, but people spend so much time trying to find that one quick fix. Now, if you reset your sights and you said, okay, instead of the North American Hockey League, how do I get to the National Hockey League? It becomes crystal clear for most people. Oh, I got to train. I got to spend my time on the ice with, I got to spend my time on the ice training. I got to spend my time in the gym. I got to be a student of the game. I got to, right? It becomes more clear of what everybody should be doing. So I hope that this kind of resets the sights a little bit for most people, because their dream is the NHL, most players. And if you focus on your dream, what you have to do becomes very more clear. And you stop going off on these side roads of, like, what do I got to do to get to this, tier 2 league? What do I got to do to get to this tier 2 league? Like, nope, stay focused on the goal, because what you have to do to get there becomes more clear.
Yeah. I mean, listen, there's nothing wrong with setting your sights on any of the leagues you mentioned, as long as you have expectations and, like, what you're putting in and what you're going to get out of it. Does that make sense? Like,
yeah, I mean, and there's going to be different goals along the way, but, like, like, when I say setting sights, I mean, like, remembering what your sights really are, right? The ultimate goal, what your dream is. And, like, at the end of the day, like, all these other leagues, like, maybe you play in the NA, maybe you don't, but it's not about that, right? Like, your journey, for most players, their goal is to play in the National Hockey League. And everybody's path is going to be a little bit different. You might use different leagues along the way, but, you should never get fixated on, a certain path, right? Like, if your lifelong goal is to play in the North American Hockey League, which, hey, nothing wrong with that. If that's what you want, cool, right? Like, if that's what you want out of this, nothing wrong with that, right? Nope. Then, get fixated on the, on the North American League as your goal. But if you want something bigger, whether it's, Division I or NHL, well, don't spend so much time on the journey, like, in terms of what path, focus on, like, keep your sights set on the ultimate goal and then live in the moment.
Yeah. Hey, performance is king, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and, like, I guess to give an example, like, one that I always use is, okay, so you and I are going to the beach. Like, that's where we're trying to get to, right? That's the goal, is to get to the beach. And then it's like, okay, we start driving to the beach. Oh, but my favorite road is closed and there's a detour. Instead of keep trying to get down that road, just go to the beach. You might have to go a different way. But the goal is not to go down that one specific road, even though I might like that road. The goal is to get to the beach. Yeah.
Yeah. You find a way to get there. But I mean, it's the statistics in English, are clear on where your best chances are of making that end goal happen.
Yeah. I mean, it's, Yeah, I mean, and that's a great point. Like, because in terms of short-term goals for junior hockey, yeah, you should be aiming towards the top. That's the other thing. Like, it drives me nuts sometimes with players, like, like they grow up like wanting to play in certain tier 2 junior A leagues. Like, why? Everybody should be aiming at tier 1. Like, why would you aim? And if you fall short, or if there's a better opportunity for you that would be better for your overall progression and development in tier 2, so be it. Right. But nobody should be like 16 years old being like, oh, I hope one day I could play tier 2 junior A. Like, you're falling into the marketing traps. Imagine like tier 2 junior A is the equivalent of like midget AA hockey, right? Like, everybody wants to play midget AAA. Obviously that's tier 1, right? Tier 2 would be midget AA. But like, guys don't realize that about junior. Like, so that's the other thing too. Like, just like with kind of setting the sights, you always aim for the top, but you live in a moment, but you aim for the top. I mean, that's it. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
No. Aim small, miss small.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, no, this stuff is awesome. And then we got another set of data that we're going to give to you guys shortly. Not this episode. We're going to wrap this one up. But yeah, stay tuned. If anybody has any questions, we added the Ask a Question tab to the swanhockey.com website. And by all means, feel free to submit a question. Anybody in the Discord, if you have a press pass, we got the press pass channel there, which obviously, gets priority in terms of the questions. And that's pretty much it for today, guys.
Quick teaser to the next one. The next one's a lot of information, a lot of fun, very interesting. Took a while to extrapolate. Encyclopedia Serps coming up with extrapolate there.
Serps, there he is.
Serps coming at you. It's all about Division I hockey, and there's a ton of really interesting and cool information we're going to get into.
Yeah, I'm excited to do that one. I know we've both had long days here today. So yeah, that's another one for another day. But yeah, guys, remember, if you're participating in season pass rewards, you can get points for streaming these episodes. For more information, visit swanhockey.io. You could also join the Discord for assistance. And as always, let us know what you think in the Discord. Feel free to weigh in on the topics. And Serps, you got anything else, or are we calling it a night?
If you go to a Jonas Brothers concert, just let me know.
I'm glad you had fun. I'm glad it all worked out.
Yeah, it was definitely a good time. I may have accidentally promised the wife floor seats next time they go on tour, whenever that may be. Ooh. So hopefully hit the liver or one of my kids.
What did you say?
I said, hopefully we hit the lottery, or I'm selling my liver, or one of my kids, or both.
Or who knows? Maybe you'll be the fourth.
maybe you'll be
in the concert.
Maybe there's scouts there checking out the fans to see who's got all the grooving and moving and singing all the songs, because I was definitely at the top of the list.
Yeah, and you obviously got the team chemistry down. Like, everybody's job. It seems like you'd fit into the system well.
Listen, I think I'd be a great depth forward. I could, put me anywhere in the lineup and I'd make it happen.
Yeah, maybe even just a call-up.
Just give me one opportunity. I'll show you.
You can give yourself an opportunity. You can go run out onto the stage.
At this day, what I tell you earlier, find a way, right?
Yeah. Oh, man.
Mugshot on TV.
Oh.
Arrested. Jumping on stage.
Oh, that's funny. Before we go, I don't know if you were in the Discord today, but I'm going to pull it up here because this was great. So we got a message from the creator of the artwork for
I gotta hear this.
For the Schmotown Showdown.
The Schmotown.
So we got it. And it says, I heard you and heard about it on the episode, so now we fix it. And there's a new winner's artwork posted in the Discord. And it looks pretty cool. And I took a quick look at it. And I wrote back, I said, there's just something about the loser one that is so incredibly awesome, meaning the loser artwork.
Yeah.
And he wrote back, he said, that's why I added it to the winning one. I took another look at the winning one, and the schmo is sitting in the corner, like depressed in the background. So you got the winner holding the cup over his head. And then and if you look closely, and I don't know how I missed it, to be honest, because it's not really that small, but you don't have to look super closely. But if you look closely, you'll see the schmo in the back, up against with his back against the boards, just hating life.
That's electric. I love that.
Yeah, it's in the NHL28 chat. So if you go into Discord, check it out. And but yeah, and this is gonna air after Halloween. But Serps, happy Halloween,
buddy! Happiest of Halloweens.
I might eat so much candy and be so upset for a short period of time afterwards, and then do it again.
I won't be able to communicate with people for a couple of days with the amount of candy I've
He's sitting there trying to breathe.
Yeah, I'll be knocking on doors, not the kids.
Yeah, no, you got the little foot soldiers. Go up there. Hey, go up. Come on, get up there. Knock on the door.
Yeah.
But
Daddy, I'm coming. You're not.
No, you're here. Eat some candy. Get a sugar rush. Get back up there.
Just dig into that bag of yours. You'll be all right.
Yeah, you'll be all right. Oh man. All right. That's going to be an episode. Until next time, I will see you guys in the Discord. Serps, thank you. And I'm looking forward to doing this next one.
Yeah, next one's going to be awesome. It's going to be a good time. Looking forward to getting that info out.
Yeah, it's going to be good. Yeah, we will see you guys soon.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Swan Hockey Podcast. We remind you that season pass points are available to listeners. For more information, please visit www.swanhockey.io. Until next time.